It starts with a $100 bill under a coffee cup. You're a new cop, only 6 months on the job. You pulled over a car with out-of-state plates going too fast. The driver is calm, too calm. When you ask for his license, you see a $100 bill sitting on his console. He says nothing. He doesn't need to. You've heard the older cops talk about this kind of thing in the locker room. Never directly, always as what-if stories. You could take the money and let him go, or you could spend the next 6 hours doing paperwork for a traffic stop that goes nowhere. You have a mortgage, your wife is pregnant. $100 is $100. You take the bill and tell him to slow down. He drives off. You sit in your car for 10 minutes staring at the money, telling yourself it was a one-time thing. It wasn't. A month later, $500 shows up in your locker at the station. No note, no explanation, you don't know who left it. And that's the point. Someone is watching you. Someone decided you passed the first test. You take the money and pretend you never saw it. The third time is different. A man finds you at a bar after your shift. He knows your name, your badge number, your wife's name, and your home address. He says he works for certain business people in the city. He says they like cops who understand how things really work. He slides an envelope across the bar, $2,000. Your job is simple, he explains. Once a week, you'll get a text with an address. You drive there and park for 15 minutes. That's it. You don't have to do anything. A police car sitting outside certain businesses sends a message. It says, "This place is protected. Don't rob this laundromat. Don't shake down this restaurant. You're a scarecrow in a uniform." You take the envelope. 6 months later, you're making more from the cartel than from the police department. $5,000 a month in untraceable cash, plus extra for special jobs. The special jobs start small. Make a bag of cocaine. Disappear from the evidence room before it gets tested. Misfile a witness statement that doesn't match the cartel's story. You're not hurting anyone, you tell yourself. You're just moving paper around. The system is already broken anyway. Prosecutors make weak deals. Judges play golf with defense lawyers. You're just taking your share of a game that was rigged before you got here. Then they ask you to do something real. A mid-level dealer got arrested by another unit. One that doesn't take money. He's sitting in county jail waiting for his court date. He knows names, routes, and hiding spots. If he talks to cut a deal, a lot of people go down. Your job is to make sure he stays quiet. You visit him in his cell. You're a cop, so nobody questions it. You recite his mother's home address from memory. You tell him his sister picks up his nephew from school every day at 3:15. You tell him accidents happen, and it would be a shame if something happened to his family while he was locked up and couldn't protect them. He pleads guilty the next day and takes 7 years without saying a word. You get a $10,000 bonus. You throw up in the parking lot and tell yourself you're not a bad person. The money changes you. You pay off your mortgage. You buy a new truck. Nothing too flashy, but nice. You take your wife to restaurants you couldn't afford before. She asks where the money is coming from. You tell her you're doing private security on your days off. She wants to believe you, so she does. You start noticing things you never saw before. Which cops drive cars they shouldn't be able to afford? Which cops always show up at the right place at the right time? Which cops never make big arrests in certain neighborhoods? There's a whole hidden economy running through the department, and now you're part of it. You're not alone. You're not even unusual. You're just another piece of a machine that runs on cash and silence. 3 years in, you get promoted to detective. Your contact, the man from the bar, says pleased. Detectives are worth more than patrol officers. Detectives run investigations. Detectives decide which leads to follow and which to drop. Your first case is a murder. A body in an alley shot twice in the head. You already know who did it before you reach the scene, because you got a text message 30 minutes before the 911 call, telling you the location and telling you to make sure the case goes nowhere. You show up and follow procedure. You talk to neighbors. You collect evidence. You interview witnesses. Then you write a report saying there are no leads, no suspects, no one willing to talk. The case goes cold. Another unsolved murder in a city full of them. No one asks questions. No one cares about a dead drug dealer in a bad neighborhood. The second murder is harder. The victim is a college student. Wrong place, wrong time. She got hit by a stray bullet during a deal gone bad. Her parents are on the news every night, crying, demanding answers. The police chief adds extra resources. The media is watching. You can't make this one disappear. So you give them someone to blame. A low-level corner boy who was nearby that night, who has a record, who is close enough to the description. You plant a gun in his apartment, wiped clean, right caliber. You find a witness who suddenly remembers seeing him run from the scene. After you explain what happens to people who don't help police investigations. The kid is 19 years old. He says he's innocent through the whole trial, but the evidence is too strong. He gets life without the chance of parole. The real shooter, a cartel enforcer, gets quietly moved to another city. You get a $50,000 bonus and an award from the mayor. The girl's parents thank you personally at a press conference. You shake their hands, accept their thanks, and feel nothing at all. 5 years in, you're running your own crew. 4 cops, all on the payroll, all loyal to you because you're their connection to the money. You don't really answer to the department anymore. You answer to a man named Ramirez, someone you've never met in person, only talked to through encrypted messages. Ramirez runs the cartel's work in your city. You run the cartel's work inside your department. You control which raids happen and which don't. You warn them when shipments need to get through. You arrest their rivals to clear the way for your bosses. You've become exactly what you swore to fight when you took your oath. You remember the oath. You said it in a room full of family and friends. Your wife crying, happy tears. Your father finally proud of you for the first time in his life. That person doesn't exist anymore. You killed him slowly, one envelope at a time. The federal investigation starts without warning. FBI agents show up at the station asking about how evidence is handled. They're polite and professional and clearly looking for something specific. Someone talked. Someone in your network or someone in Ramirez's organization made a deal and started giving names. You don't know who. You don't know how much they've shared. You spend 3 weeks waiting for the knock on your door. It doesn't come for you. It comes for 2 of your guys, arrested at dawn, walked in front of cameras. The message is clear. The feds know, but they don't have enough. Not yet. Someone wants you to flip, to become a witness, to trade everything you know for a new life in witness protection. But you know what happens to cops who flip. You've seen the photos. You've helped clean up the evidence. You have 3 choices. Run, disappear with whatever money you've saved and try to start over in a country that won't send you back. Cooperate, trust that federal marshals can keep you and your family safe and spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder. Or stay, go to work every day like nothing is wrong and wait it out. You stay, you're a cop, you know how these things work. Investigations fail more often than they succeed. Witnesses change their stories, evidence gets thrown out, lawyers find loopholes. You've been on the other side of this long enough to know the odds. You smile at the FBI agents when you pass them in the hallway. You wait. When the trial finally comes, it's for your guys, not you. They stayed quiet, took their deals, pled guilty to smaller charges. They'll each do 5 years and come out to accounts the cartel quietly set up for their families. You testify as a character witness. You say they were good cops who made mistakes. You sit 20 feet from the federal prosecutor who spent 2 years trying to build a case against you. And you lie under oath without blinking. The prosecutor knows. You can see it in his eyes. But knowing and proving are 2 different things. And you spent a decade making sure nothing could be proved. You're still a cop. You still carry a badge and a gun. You still answer calls, write reports, and pretend to protect people. You're 52 years old. 8 more years until your pension. 8 more years of taking money to look the other way. 8 more years of living with what you've done. Some nights, late and quiet, you think about the 19-year-old serving life for a murder he didn't commit. You think about the families torn apart by the drugs you helped move. You think about the oath and the person you used to be. Then you check your offshore account balance and the thoughts fade. You're not a good person. You stopped being one a long time ago. But you're alive. You're free. And you're going to stay that way. In your world, that's the only win that counts. The money keeps coming. The bodies keep adding up. The badge keeps opening doors. And somewhere right now, a rookie cop just found a $100 bill under a coffee cup. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.